Yeah. We back in the house like we never left. You know what I mean? Judah Ben in the spot. Word them up. And Judah Ben. Yeah. Shout out to East St. Louis. Yeah.
His talent is unique. His music is universal.
Yeah. Too many dumb guys get attention. You need intelligence and comprehension. You need to stop, look, and listen. Your song's not the best worded. I felt disgusted when I heard it. You can't fool me, I'm too observant. Plus, you not a general cowboy, you still a servant. Your rhymes fugazi, you not dope, you crazy. I see the Lord took his time when he made me the pound, turn you clowns to ghosts like Patrick Swayze. A couple major record labels tried to sign me cause I got rhyme speed, faggot stand behind me. Bunch of cowards on Twitter talking nonsense, acting like they tough, but them cowards ain't violent. When you rhyme, I hear the music with the violin. Son, you a sap story, all you cats rap corny. My style exquisite, in other words, I'm delicate. Son, I'm intelligent, you suckers is irrelevant. In your lyrics, all you do is add embellishment. My rhyme's eloquent, you a waste like excrement. That's manure, in other words, you shitty. Your crew a foul union, a bunch of bowel movements. Yeah, yo.
Nightclub and television performances, concerts around the world, international fame.
East St. Louis in the house. Cold rocking it, non-stopping it. Judah Ben. Shout out to my daughter with your badass. Yeah. Yeah, yo, what's good, my G's, my GX, ladies and gentlemen, what's the deal? Just on here real quick, talk a little bit of boxing. You know what I mean? We got some good, phenomenal cards coming on this weekend. You know what I mean? Just want to give my intake and my input on the whole scenario. First off, I want to say, you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody who tuning in, who listening. You know what I mean? Peace and blessings to all of y'all, you and yours, and your families. But we're gonna jump right into this. You feel me? We got a dope card coming on this weekend, March 16th. The zone card with Golden Boy. We got a Golden Boy joint coming on this Saturday, March 16th. The main event is William Zepeda and Maxie Hughes. You feel me? William Zepeda, El Cameron, 29-0, 25 KOs. This man is a monster. You feel me? He going up against Maxie Hughes. Maxie Hughes is 26, 6-2. You know what I mean? He just had a fight with who's that? Cambozo. He had a scrap with Cambozo. I believe sometime late last year. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to the main event. But then, you know what I mean? We got my homie
Floyd Schofield, aka Kid Austin. He's on a co-main. Uh, he's going up against some cat. I forget his name, but you know what I mean. Floyd Schofield, 16-0, with I believe the 12 KOs. You know what I mean. So he's a dope up and coming prospect. You know what I mean. So I'm gonna be on the lookout for that. You know what I mean. We got a good decent weekend of boxing. You know what I mean, coming up. So can't wait to see my homie Kid Austin get in there and get this KO. Because you know it's going to be a KO. It's going to be a knockout. You feel me? Uh, I definitely believe William Zepeda, aka El Cameron, I definitely believe he'll be getting the KO as well. You know what I mean? Maxie Hughes is sort of like a C plus fighter. You know what I mean? He decent ish. You know what I mean? I would love to see William Zepeda go against somebody like Shakur, or you know what I mean, Raymond Realtire. You know what I mean? Something like that. But we'll see, son. You know what I mean? It's a lot of good up and coming fights on the rise. So we can't always get what we want when we want it. You know what I mean? But like I say in my previous videos, you know what I mean? There's a lot of good fights on the rise. So be on the lookout. 2024 is gonna be a remarkable year of boxing. You know what I mean? Everything is on the come up. So that's why I ain't tripping. You feel me? So um, then at the end of the month, March 30th, you know what I mean? We got the main event with Tim Tszyu and Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? I'm definitely looking forward to that joint as well. You know what I mean? Uh, Tim Tszyu coming off the victory of he fought Tony Harrison, then he fought who was the last cat Tim Tszyu just knocked out? Uh, it'll come to me in a minute. But I'm definitely looking forward to, you know what I mean, Tim Tszyu and Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? That's going to be a tremendous it's going to be a tremendous fight that's coming up at the end of the month. So you know what I mean? Definitely waiting for that. I believe it was Brian Mendoza who Tim Tszyu previously knocked out. He fought Tony Harrison in like March of last year. Then he fought he fought Brian Mendoza in October. You feel me? Got the KO. So yo, shout out to Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu is nasty. You know what I mean? You got to give Tim Tszyu his respects. You know what I mean? Making his stamp in the boxing world. His pops, you know what I mean? His pops solidified him. Costa Zoo, you feel me? So, but yo, with this fight with Keith Thurman, yo, I'm not rooting for Keith Thurman. I'm not really rooting for nobody. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I still feel Tim Tszyu is going to walk away with the nod. I just don't know if it's going to be a KO. Now, if Tim Tszyu KOs Keith Thurman, man, oh man, what a statement that would be if he was to KO Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? And if he does, I highly believe Keith Thurman will probably put in his resignation and retire. Uh, that's just me. That's just how I feel. You feel me? Keith Thurman has never been knocked out. So it will be a spectacle to see him, you know what I mean? It'll be a spectacle to see Keith Thurman go out, you know what I mean, with his eyes shut in the ring, you know what I mean? But on the undercard of that, you know what I mean, we got my homie Camille Moulton. Shout out to my dog Camille Moulton, you know what I mean? This will be his third fight going on, looking for his third KO in a row. You know what I mean? He's already touring over 2 KOs back to back. So, you know what I mean? They keeping a young man busy. Uh, keeping him on the roll. I can probably guarantee he'll probably have 2 more fights this year, if not 3. Keeping a young man busy up on his toes. Keeping the blade sharp. So be on the lookout for my homie Kamel Moulton on the undercard of Keith Thurman and Tim Tszyu. Uh, Kamel Moulton reminds me so much of Gervonta Davis, man. Like you can tell. Not to say that's who he patterned his style after, but you can just tell they have the same grit. And the same boxing style. Um, shout out to Floyd. Floyd Mayweather know how to pick his prospects. So you got to give Floyd his flowers while he's alive. Don't wait for the man that's in the grave. Get that man his props now. So you feel me? Like as black people, we love to criticize our own when they here, but then when they leave us, that's when we want to give them their flowers and then want to say this and that. He was a good dude and all this. Like, do that down. Do that now. Don't wait till it's too late to try to get that man his flowers. Get that man his flowers now. Floyd is a tremendous scout. He scout talent like a Yankee scout. You feel me? So we got that. And then I wanted to speak a little bit about this Tank and Frank, joint we got coming up, possibly June 15th. It could be earlier, than that, but we'll see. Gervonta Davis versus Frank Martin. That's coming up. I can't wait for that joint, man. And I've been saying that joint was coming up. I've been speaking on this since like last year. I put up a short on my YouTube channel last year. That they was going to be fighting. So pay attention to what I be saying sometimes. You feel me? I know sometimes it may seem like I just be saying anything, but I pay attention to what's going on around me. You feel me? So I don't just be talking. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting to hear. Now it has been rumored, and this is all alleged. It's not, it's not factual or none of that, but it has been rumored that it's possible that we can get David Benavidez and Gosnick on the undercard of that, meaning it would be on the same card of Tank versus Frank. And also, ladies and gentlemen, I just seen an article on Google not too long ago that Demetrius Andrade and your boy David Morrell is also on that same undercard. And if we can get Tank versus Frank, Benavidez, Gosnick, and David Morrell versus Demetrius Andrade, what up, man? That'll be a phenomenal card, and we can only thank Gervonta Davis for that because if I'm not mistaken, it was Gervonta last year, last January, who set up the card between who set up the phenomenal card with him and Hector Garcia. You had Boots on that card. You had some heavy hitters on that card, son. So if Gervonta can pull this off with this card, man, like it'll be, shout out to Gervonta for making all these phenomenal fights possible. On one card. You feel me? So it's a boxing is looking up. It's on the up and coming. We got some nasty, phenomenal fights on the rise. So it's looking nice, yo. So can't be mad at that at all. So like I said, son, got some dope fights coming up. But if it's true, one of the main fights I'm looking for is I'm looking for the whole David Morrell versus Demetrius Andrade, son. That'll be ridiculous. If we can get that Demetrius Andrade versus David Morrell, son, that'll be retarded, yo. So and it's definitely going to be a test for Morrell. I know a lot of people are automatically writing off Demetrius Andrade and saying, you know, he's going to get KO'd, you know what I mean, this and that. But, yo, we never know till we see it. You know what I mean? You can't knock nobody. You can't knock nobody until we see what actually happens. So I'm not going to automatically write off Demetrius Andrade, you know what I mean, and say this and that about him. You know what I mean? We don't know what he's working on. You feel me? We don't know what tools he might have sharpened up in the gym since his recent loss with David Benavidez. David Benavidez took him out in 6 rounds. I believe Demetrius Andrade, he quit on the stool going into the 7th round. So, you know what I mean? We don't really know what Demetrius Andrade has been working on since then. But yo, if David Morrell can get him out of there sooner, you know what I mean? All this does is it makes the Benavidez and David Morrell fight that much better. You feel me? So and we would definitely David Benavidez would definitely have to get in the ring with Morrell. You know what I mean? Once we see, you know what I mean, what he can do with Benavidez. And this would be a tremendous step up fight for David Morrell. We haven't seen David Morrell step up in competition as of yet. So this will be a nice solidification for David Morrell. I think it's for David Morrell's title as well. So but at the end of the day, I'm rooting for David Morrell because I want to see him and Benavidez get it in. You got a lot of cats saying that David Benavidez is running from Morrell, which is ridiculous. That's the most goofiest thing I've ever heard. You know what I mean? David Benavidez is definitely not running away from David Morrell because, to be honest, what recollection or what does he have? Why would he even run from David Morrell? You feel me? And like I say, I F's with David Morrell heavy. You know what I mean? But David Morrell hasn't fought the competition of a Demetrius Andrade. That's why I'm excited for this fight they got coming up. This will definitely let us know exactly where David Morrell stands in skill. So I definitely can't wait for this joint. You know what I mean? This entire card is going to be phenomenal, son. And I just can't wait, you know what I mean, for everything to be announced so we can, you know what I mean, fully get the understanding of what's going on. So shout out to before I step out of here, yo, shout out to my dog Upper Echelon. I was on Upper Echelon live earlier. You know what I mean? And I was talking my shit. I'm always riding with my homie David Benavidez. You know what I mean? Regardless. And I just be like, I don't be serious, you know what I mean, in what I be saying. Like, I mean, I'm serious in when I say nobody beats David Benavidez. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. You feel me? Just like everybody else have their opinions. But it's just funny how whenever I speak on David Benavidez, whenever it comes to David Benavidez and David Morrell, and whenever I say David Benavidez is going to knock out David Morrell, you know, a lot of people get upset, which I don't really understand why. You know what I mean? Like I say, it's my opinion. Everybody can have their opinion, but it's like when I speak on David Benavidez knocking out Morrell, it's like, oh, you can't say that. Like, how you know? And it's like the same thing. How do you know David Morrell is going to beat, David Benavidez. You feel me? Like David Benavidez is way more tested than David Morrell. And this is what always happens in boxing. The fighter who's less tested always gets exposed. You feel me? And who's to say, even though I said I'm rooting for Morrell to beat Andre, who's to say that Andre won't somewhat expose Morrell and we, he show us a lot of things that we didn't see. He showed us a lot of weaknesses in Morrell that we didn't know was there. You know what I'm saying? Anything is possible in the sport of boxing, son. Like you can't count out nothing. You feel me? Like, but at the end of the day, I'm still rooting for Morrell to beat, Andre. So I just don't understand like what's such the big deal, with Morrell and Benavidez. Whenever I say that Benavidez is going to sleep Morrell, like I get a lot of backlash. But I mean, it's just funny to me. Like people just think whatever they say, this they feel like it's their opinion and that's it. Like nah, like at the end of the day, none of us really know what the fuck is gonna happen. We can only speculate and give our take from what we've seen from these, these brothers. So we don't really know what's gonna happen. Just like I don't know what's gonna happen. But we can assume, we can only assume. So like I say and like I've been saying, when it's time for that fight to be made, and when David Benavidez shocked everybody and hurt this man and possibly sleep him, we can all come back to this live. We can always come back to this recording right here. And you can say your man Judah said it first. I've been saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it, no matter, regardless of who get mad, who get upset, and all this. And you know what I mean? Shout out to my dog, Upper Echelon. I ain't got no problems, no issues with my man. You know what I mean? That's my brother. I love him. You know what I mean? But I was, you know what I mean? I was stating my claims and sticking up for my dog, David Benavidez. And then it's like when you do that, and then when they try to say, he was saying he had like clips of Samson Lipinets. What's this nigga's name? Samson Lovitskis, whatever his fucking name, Benavidez promoter. He was saying this and that about how they don't want Benavidez to fight Morrell, but it's like, just like I was saying in the comments, okay, that's Samson saying that. That's not Benavidez saying that. Every time they ask Benavidez about Morrell, he's with it. He's not ducking Morrell. That's his promoter Samson saying all this bullshit about how he don't think Benavidez is ready for Morrell, which is bullshit. You feel me? Benavidez is he's more than ready to face on a boxer like David Morrell. It's David Morrell who's actually a question, because like I said before, David Morrell hasn't been fully tested, you know what I mean, in this sport yet. Like David Morrell is what, 9-0, 8-0? You feel me? So who has David Morrell really fought to really solidify him, you know what I mean, as a top dog? Even though I still have him as a top dog. Don't get me wrong. But who has he really fought to really put him up there in that category? You feel me? Like, and it's just funny how like I always get backlash, you know what I mean, and motherfuckers always get upset whenever I speak on David Morrell knocking out. Whenever I speak on David Benavidez knocking out Morrell, it's like, how can you say that? Like, but it's like, how can you say what you're saying? You feel me? And it's like, I'm not biased. You feel me? Like, I'm one of the most unbiased, most realist speculators and spectators of the sport of boxing. I follow what's real. And right now, from what I see from Benavidez, is I've seen him get tested. David Benavidez has been dropped before, and he got up and got the job done. He hasn't been dropped since. He hasn't been dropped since that fight with Ronald Gabriel. You know what I mean? He showed improved. You know what I mean? And he elevated his game. It's nothing wrong. It's definitely nothing wrong with, you know what I mean? Uh, standing on yours and going for who you're going for. Everybody else can do it. Why is it a problem when I do it? You feel me? But that's neither here nor there. You know what I mean? Everybody got their opinion. You know what I mean? You gotta not necessarily watch what you say, but uh, like a lot of cats, they get too emotional. You know what I mean? When it comes to, you know what I mean, their opinions and shit like that. Because like I say, they feel like their opinion is more validated than yours. You feel me? But it is what it is, son. Uh, it's not the end of the world. You feel me? Like I said, I still fuck with upper echelon. Um, you know what I mean? He had somebody time me out for my comments. Yo, son, he had somebody time me out for my comments, and it's like, yo, at the end of the day, they only opinions, son. Like, oh man. But it is what it is, G. You feel me? I just can't wait until that fight is made because we all gonna get to see what I've been saying since day one. You feel me? So everybody think David Morrell is gonna beat Benavidez. We will see. We will definitely see. And I can't wait till that time is here. You know what I mean? When that time comes. So everybody can be proved wrong. And all y'all niggas gonna be eating crow. You feel me? And that's why I F with channels like Just Do, you know what I mean, and Knockout Boxing. Because with them, they don't get emotional, you know what I mean, when you speak your opinions. You know what I mean? Like I said, everybody got opinions. They don't get all bent out of shape and emotional whenever you have a different opinion from theirs. You know what I mean? And that's the whole idea of having an opinion. Everybody is not going to have the same opinion as you. You know what I mean? So for people to sit up here and act like what they say is law and it's like what they say goes and that's it. It's like that's funny to me because it's like you can't speak or you can't have your own mindset. You know what I mean? You got to be aligned with what the content creator is saying, or else it's deemed as hate, or it's deemed as you know what I mean, you being disrespectful, which is bananas. You feel me? So like like I said, son, it is what it is. I still F with upper echelon. It ain't no hate, it ain't no beef. You know what I mean? But it's just funny how, and I've only had this problem whenever it comes to David Benavidez. It's like I don't know what it is, son. It's like it's like cats don't F with Benavidez like you think they would. You feel me? It's like they want to see this man lose bad. I mean, but I get it, son. You know what I mean? Not really, but it is what it is, yo. You know what I mean? But we got a good weekend of boxing coming up this weekend. You know what I mean? I'm definitely looking forward to the fights that's coming on Saturday. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be on here too long. Just wanted to, you know what I mean, give my take on the fights that's coming up. And you know what I mean, give my opinions without getting butchered and getting timed out in the chat. So, you know what I mean? But we chilling. You know what I mean? I can't wait for Saturday. Can't wait to see my dog, Kid Austin, get in the ring. You know what I mean? And set the record straight. But yo, I'm gonna get on up out of here, son. I'll probably be back tomorrow to talk some more boxing goodness. You know what I mean? We're gonna rack it up like that. I'm about to tune in to my dog Just Do. Just wanted to come on here and drop this video. I've been meaning to drop this video yesterday, but you know what I mean? I haven't had time. So I'm gonna get on out of here, head on to my dog Just Do, see what's going on with my homie. You know what I mean? And then we're gonna get it rocking from there. So peace to everybody. Shout out to all my cats with their YouTube channels, with their platforms. You know what I mean? Making major noise. You know what I mean? Shout out to all y'all. I love y'all. Bless you and your families. You know what I mean? Stay safe, stay vigilant. You know what I mean? And let's get this paper, son. But yo, on that note, we out of here. I'm out. Shout out to my daughter with your badass. And we out of here. 100.